So, have you noticed this? It feels like everywhere you look, there's a new AI tool promising to create amazing professional videos with just a few clicks. I mean, they're everywhere. In this explainer, we're going to cut right through all that noise. We're going to figure out if AI video is a truly revolutionary tool for your business or if it's just the latest tech hype.
Okay, let's just start with a basic truth about where we are right now. Short form video is, without a doubt, the new currency of the internet. We're talking TikTok, Reels, YouTube Shorts. On these platforms, attention is everything. So for any business, any creator out there, having a strong video presence isn't just a nice little bonus anymore. It's absolutely essential for growth. It's how you get noticed, period. But this leads us to the classic problem, right? On one hand, you have traditional video creation, which is just notoriously slow, incredibly expensive, and let's be honest, completely exhausting. It demands cameras, fancy editing software, and a huge investment of your time. And then on the other hand, you have this incredibly seductive promise of AI, creating videos that are fast, affordable, and just unbelievably scalable. It's a proposition so powerful that, frankly, you can't afford to ignore it.
So let's really break this down. Let's dive into the core issue that these AI tools are claiming to solve, what we'll call the content creation problem.
When you look at the old way of doing things, the barriers are huge. First off, it is so time-consuming. We're talking hours and hours of work for just a few minutes of final content. Second, it can be a massive financial drain, right? The gear, the software, it all adds up. And finally, this whole relentless cycle often leads to total creator burnout, which makes being consistent feel pretty much impossible.
So how exactly does AI plan to fix all this? Well, the promise is a totally automated solution, a path with way less friction that tackles each one of those problems head on.
And this quote right here, it just gets right to the heart of it. The core promise is simple: the complete removal of all those technical hurdles. The idea is that you don't have to be a professional videographer anymore. You don't need to be an editing wizard to create high-quality videos. All you need? Your ideas. That's it. So, how does it really work in practice? Well, the whole process is designed to be ridiculously simple. First, you just give it some input, maybe a prompt, a full script, or even just a basic idea you have. Then, the AI does all the heavy lifting. It generates everything: the script, the visuals, the voiceover, even the subtitles. And finally, out comes a finished video, totally ready to publish. It's a workflow that's built for one thing: pure efficiency.
Now this brings us to a really important concept: content multiplication. You see, the goal here isn't to replace the human creator or the strategist, not at all. Instead, AI acts as a kind of force multiplier. It gives a single person or maybe a small team the power to achieve the output of a much, much larger production team. You're amplifying your message without having to proportionally increase your workload.
All right, so we've talked about the how. Let's pivot now to the why. This is all about the practical, real-world business applications. How this tech can actually be used to get tangible results.
Okay, the first big one is automating your niche content marketing. You've probably seen these faceless channels. It's content that doesn't actually show a person on camera. Instead, it relies on stock footage, animations, and a good voiceover. For a business, this is an incredibly powerful way to build a consistent, on-brand presence in a very specific market, all without the crazy time and cost of actually filming anything. And the benefits here are very, very real. I mean, this approach can literally save your team countless hours of work every single week. It guarantees that you can keep a consistent posting schedule, which we all know is critical for those platform algorithms. And maybe most importantly, it frees up your valuable team members to focus on the high-level stuff, like strategy and planning, instead of getting bogged down in video editing. Application number 2 is for all the freelancers and marketing agencies out there. AI can be a total game changer for offering video creation as a scalable service. Suddenly, you can take on way more clients, produce content for them super efficiently, and grow your revenue all without having to hire a massive production team. It's all about boosting your capacity to deliver. Our third application is all about streamlining your in-house content. Just think about all the different videos a business needs on a daily basis: social media updates, product demos, internal training videos. An AI tool can empower your marketing team to handle all of this in-house, quickly and efficiently, keeping everything on brand without those hefty agency fees. And finally, application number 4, scaling your lead generation and your marketing funnels. This is where you're creating a high volume of video ads and content specifically designed to attract potential customers and, guide them towards a sale. AI completely removes the production bottleneck.
which lets you test way more video ads to see what actually works best at turning viewers into paying customers.
Okay, so we've seen the incredible potential, right? It all sounds amazing. But now it's time for a really crucial reality check. It is so easy to get swept up in all the promises. So in this section, we're going to take a hard, critical look at the hype versus the reality of these tools.
And this is really the million-dollar question, isn't it? Are these platforms some kind of magic button for generating passive income with zero effort, like some of the marketing might make you think? Or are they simply a new, incredibly powerful tool that still requires skill and, more importantly, strategy to use effectively? This slide just lays it out perfectly, the gap between the hype and the reality. The hype sells you a magic money button, but the reality is it's a productivity multiplier. The hype might promise you guaranteed success, but the reality is you still need a rock-solid strategy. The tool isn't going to find your audience for you, and it's certainly not going to build your business plan. That part, that's still on you. I love this quote from our source material because it just nails it. AI is an accelerator. It dramatically cuts down the time you spend on the production part, but it absolutely does not replace the strategic effort needed for planning, for promotion, and for analyzing what's working. And this also means we have to redefine what passive income really is. It's not zero work. A much more accurate way to think about it is front-loaded effort that's followed by automation. You do the hard strategic work up front, defining your niche, your message, your plan to make money, and then you use AI to automate the execution of that plan. That is where the real power is.
So with that reality check firmly in place, let's wrap this up by figuring out who this technology is really for. Because honestly, it's not for everyone. It takes a certain kind of mindset to really unlock what it can do.
Our source material makes this fantastic distinction between two different mindsets, the gambler and the builder. The gambler is always looking for a shortcut, right? A quick hack, that magic button. The builder, on the other hand, sees AI for what it is, a powerful tool to build long-term digital assets and gain real strategic leverage in their business. So who is this builder? Well, there are people who are focused on leverage, how to get more out of every bit of effort they put in. They're focused on building valuable digital assets, like a YouTube channel or a social media presence that actually grows and gains value over time. And most importantly, they think long-term. They're not looking for some overnight success. They are building something that's meant to last. And that brings us to the single most important factor for success with any of this. It's not the tool, it's not the algorithm, it is and it always will be your strategy. The plan you have behind the tool is what will ultimately determine your results. So we end on this question. Is AI video the ultimate tool for builders, or is it the ultimate distraction for dreamers? Look, in the right hands, it can build brands and businesses faster and more efficiently than ever before. But without a solid strategy, it's really just making more noise. As we've seen today, the difference comes down to one simple thing: how you choose to use it. Thanks for tuning into this explainer.